Manuel Lettenbichler, professional Enduro rider. Andreas Lettenbichler, self-employed mechanic from Manuel Lettenbichler. Geht ab. Das ist Chico, oder? Genau bei dir. It was definitely a really special moment when I won my title last year in the last race, because I never expected it, or we never expected it at the beginning of the year, because I was injured, laying in hospital, and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be not a good year, but at the end it turned out completely different. So yeah, pretty stoked, pretty happy. It was definitely a hard race, hard year with coming back from the injury and getting also so many wins, which wasn't expected, but yeah, it was definitely something really, really special. Yeah, I think for me it was also a big bummer. At the beginning of the season, he was injured, and yeah, we didn't expect that he can win the championship, but he did it. And first race in Serbia was like, everyone was so emotional, crazy. I was like, whoa! Yeah, he's on top again, and yeah, he was scared about his knee and was not 100% in shape, but all in all went good, and we are really happy. That was pretty cool. I came into the finish and I think no one expected it of the whole team, and then my dad came in and was like, oh man, oh, just started crying, and he started crying. So yeah, it was a pretty special moment, I would say, the first race after the injury. So pretty cool. I got my first bike when I was 5, I think, to my 5th birthday. I got like an automatic trial, and at the beginning I was scared and I didn't really know what I should do with it, but at the end I think we got into riding a little bit, and I just remember one rock which was probably like this high, and I ran over it, and I had such a good feeling afterwards that I said, definitely want to start riding now, because he was still... But just for fun, you know, he was not excited to ride like in a championship or like... Not at all. To get some trophies, not at all, you know. He was just excited to ride around, you know. But it was pretty cool because he never really pushed me. He motivated me for sure, but he didn't really push me too much. So it was a pretty chilled atmosphere, I would say. Yeah, definitely. There was a really special moment when I became the youngest finisher in 2014 at the ErzbergRodeo. I knew, like, I always said the Enduro business is my dad's business and his sport, and I'm only a trials guy. And at the beginning I wasn't really motivated, and also he wasn't really like keen that I get into this sport. But then we started riding a little bit more Enduro, and then I said, yeah, I'm just gonna give it a try. And I was in the forest, I remember, maybe half an hour before the finish, and I was so tired. I cramped up everywhere, and I literally had to stop twice because like, oh man, it's just not happening that I'm gonna come into the finish. But then I kind of made it happening, which was pretty cool, and I think I got 18th. And yeah, it was pretty special, super special when I arrived in the finish. I literally had to go over one last log and I couldn't make it and just fall off the bike, and then he was already coming in, probably already an hour earlier than me, and was waiting for me. So yeah, since then I would say my Enduro career started. It was also a really special moment for me. But I was thinking about, you know, I was in the finish, okay, it's my 3rd place, and I was like also a little bit scared of him. Yeah, the mountain is really big, you know, and
and for his second time, but the first time I would say he was competitive to finish it, and he growed. The year before it was just like a test, just for fun, and in 1 year he get more strength, and it was really cool to saw him at the finish line in this year. In 2015, it was like crazy. It was way too hard, for everybody, and normally a race should be a race made it by your own, not by 4 riders to help each other. So for me it was like difficult to race with him, in the same races. So I was starting thinking about him. The focus was not on the race, and it was more on him. When something happened, his mother would punch me. And,
you wouldn't?
No, but all in all I decided, I was in a good age, I think it was 42, and I was in a good age to stop riding active in the races.
I had to beat him first. Beat him at the prologue at Tito Sky, and then he started to realize he has to retire now.
This was the first
No,
time.
it was probably this year, I think. It was 15 or 15, I guess. Yeah, 15 in October. Last lap
Was
at
just
the
the
beach race.
prologue, I was relaxed.
Oh, definitely. I think in our sport it's definitely a big goal and a big achievement to win Erzberg once. And I tried it the last couple of years, and I was pretty close twice already. So it was definitely on my list to win it. And then I finally did it, and it just felt amazing. Like, I was really over the moon. I was even sick during the week, and I felt so bad at the race day, and I didn't really know what to expect. So to come up with a win at this special race was definitely something really cool, and something really, I would say, important also. As a German-speaking guy, to win ErzbergRodeo, I think was only like the last guy was my dad.
Sponsored by 2 Austrian brands.
So. So now it's definitely really cool to win almost in front of my home country, Motorex highway sucks. Definitely, we walked it and we checked it out, and I was like, it's doable, it's going to be pretty difficult, but then on race day everything looked different, and they made some super special tricks over the night, and then changed a little bit the track, and it got really difficult, and I would say also almost impossible. Like at the beginning when I arrived there and I saw the first uphill, I was like, no chance, I have to wait for the next guy or something like this. But after following tries and a lot of cleaning the track, I would say, building the line, we finally made it up there, and I was pretty happy because I got up there and I already saw Mario coming, and I said, that's not a good time now. But that's racing, and I was definitely glad when I was out there, and when I was on my way to the finish.
For me, the Romania X is way better than Erzberg. You have 4 days out in the forest, and Erzberg is just a 2-hour race. It's like, it's done. And Romania X, you have so many different kind of terrains
And adventure.
Landscape.
Yeah,
it's a really nice race.
It's a cool race, and I think you put a lot of work into Romania X because it's such a long race and so many things can go wrong, bike issues, Sorry.
Yeah, and
Bike issues and like the team maybe making mistake or something. Like there's just so many different things which can go wrong, and I think
I would say the focus is also on racing.
Yeah.
It's the real racing, you know.
Yeah.
At Erzberg is so much different things around, you know. It's like more at the moment. I would say it's like a festival, you know.
Yeah. So you go out there and
Romania is like
you
a real
start
race, you know.
and
It's
you're
like,
out there by your own, race all day, and the best guy wins at the end. I would say so. Definitely.
sometimes, not always.
Not always, but most of the time. Nah, I would say so. Like, it's pretty cool to have him. I know he has a lot of experience, and I think we also. I think so.
A good relationship.
Yeah, we also have a good relationship as well, but also kind of he comes up with some good ideas and I come up with some good ideas, and we always find the best solution to make the best things and to have the best bike setup. I don't have to worry about the bike at all because I know that he is making a good job on it. So yeah, it's definitely a big important thing also on my success. Nah. Nah, I wouldn't say so. Like, we have such a good relationship, and we're more than like, it's not a normal father and son relationship. I think we're pretty good friends and cool
And
dudes out there just having a great
everybody
time.
from us knows what he has to do, you know. It's not just I am focused on the bike and he's focused on track, on, you know, on his stuff. And sometimes good friend Jeff is also with us, so
A good
it's
crew.
yeah, we have really good crew.
Yeah, a good crew with a lot of fun, and at the parties I always have to take care about this guy, so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. Sometimes he didn't, but most of the time he know what he's doing, and yeah, for me, I like the races. You know, I like to be at the races. It's always special for me to check out some different things. You know, it's not only the bike, to see different people. You know, to speak with different people, and nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, I would say you enjoy it more than you're scared when I'm out there.
Yeah, scared sometimes, you know, when time is running. Oh, where is Manuel? Fuck. So yeah, sometimes it's difficult, but it's racing, you know, and I'm always nervous. Now you know why I'm always nervous, more nervous than him. So,
Yeah.
but I have the time, you know, exactly. And, but all in all,
Pretty
I
solid.
enjoy it.
From the new races or from the races in general? I enjoyed Red Bull Stone a lot. Was, I think, a good race this year, a good racetrack. I like Italy. It's kind of my second home as well, so I'm spending a lot of time in this area. And I think Michele Bosi, the organizer, is doing a great job on it. So I think it was a really cool race and an enjoyable race. We had a lot of good times before the event already. Track walking, good crew, like was a good organized race and just some good Italian vibes in it.
Some good Italian food.
And some good Italian food, yeah. Some good pasta.
This is what we.
That's
what
the
I
most
like, you
important
know?
thing. I think pretty similar, huh?
No, it's not really. You know, we had different material, so the material is getting better, And I would say also the skills from the riders are stepped up a little bit more. The physical training is, I think, different, and also the age. Now I was starting with hard enduro, I was like 33 and he was 17. And I think all in all, the whole package is really more professional now, you know. And when I remember in my time, I was working the whole day. After work, I went to training, you know, and also in the whole season, I don't spend so much time on the bike, you know. It was like work, training, prep the bike, go to the race, you know. And this was really different.
Yeah, now you almost can't quit. If you want to really compete on the high note, I think is such a full-time job now, and we put so much effort in, and it's nice to see also that the sport grows and the sport gets more professional, because it makes the sport bigger. And as an athlete nowadays, I would say my goal is to make hard enduro bigger, because it's a cool sport, it's some cool people, and I just want to show how cool is the hard enduro community. So it's nice to see that it gets more professional, maybe sometimes too professional, but at the end...
It's also important.
It's also important, yeah, but at the end it's also, I think, just different compared to back in the days, that's for sure. But from the physical side, I would say he was pushing also a lot.
Yeah, I tried, but you know, I would say I can ride all this stuff, but they went flat out, you know. All the time they go flat out, and it was a complete different speed back in the days, and with all the hard tires, you know.
Yeah.
I remember when we get the first GT tire, so it was like completely different, you know. And now, for them, everything is easy.
Nah, for sure not.
For sure not. You mean on the bike? I would say the whole bike, you know, is getting more in the direction from the engine side, power-wise, like from the bottom side, like a trials bike, you know. Also the tires are really different, clutch, complete. I think the whole bike is...
The whole package,
yeah,
it's for sure. Suspension, testing,
yeah.
From like good suspension where you can go hard.
It's the mix.
It's a good mix.
It's a really good mix, you know, now. And
yeah, you have to go with a soft suspension really fast in fast sections, but you also need a soft suspension for some really hard and technical stuff. So I think on this side it's just developed a lot. But I think from my side, what I learned now since I'm racing, tires are a huge difference. How much they developed and how much and a good tire is helping to get better and to have more traction in general. I would say quite a lot. We test quite a lot of different things also, especially if there is a model change coming up or something like this. For this year, we're gonna get a new bike, and it's definitely gonna have a lot of testing involved, from engine until suspension until handlebar positions again. Like literally sometimes KTM is also developing so much, and they always try to get the bike better, and they always also find something new, which is like incredible how they manage it. But for us, we have to get used to something new, and I think in this case it always involves a lot of testing. So yeah, it's always something going on, and the line is never sleeping. As a kid, I would say. We have been always also living on a farm, living in the mountains. We can do riding mountain bikes out of our house, you know. We can't really go with our motorbikes out of the house, so I'm always spend a lot of time on a mountain bike. And we have been, when I was maybe 8 or 10, we went a couple of times to Leogang bike park and rode a couple of days there. And I think I really started to enjoy this mountain bike side already as a kid, but I think I really appreciate it now since the first lockdown, because I spent a lot of time at home, and it was so cool because you had so much time to do different things. And for me, yeah, it's definitely a really big passion and a really big thing also in my training, because I always try to make my training that I always have fun with it. And for sure, sometimes you have to go on a road bike and just do your cardio training, but I would rather go on a nice mountain bike trip with a couple of friends. You still train and you have a sick trail afterwards. So that's a cool thing, because it's just so much fun. I think it's pretty similar actually. I think moto, especially enduro, it's pretty similar to mountain bike as well, because I never expected it, but in mountain bike you always try to take the momentum, like out of the corners, don't brake too much, just let it go, keep the flow. And I never expected it that downhill riding helps me for riding moto, because in moto you don't realize it, but at the end is exactly the same things. You want to keep the flow, you try to like maybe
let it roll.
Yeah, let it roll, yeah. Like let it roll in the corners, like try to keep the momentum. And I think it's pretty similar, but at the end for sure the weight is a huge difference, which definitely is a bit strange for some people, but since I'm doing so much from both of it, I'm pretty used to it. And that's why I think I also like my e-bike so much, because it has a little bit more weight on a bicycle, and it definitely looks pretty good. So quite interesting how similar both categories are. I would say I'm pretty good. Sometimes not, but
sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but
yeah,
he's really good at working on bikes and also motorbikes.
Yeah, I'm trying always, if it's super muddy, trying to clean it immediately and get it ready, like clean it properly with the pressure washer, oil it up with everything, put chain lube on, like literally get the bikes ready. But if I'm traveling a little bit more, like longer trips, and I'm coming back home, I would say is more on your side, like prepping the bikes, really. But not crazy. But I'm coming back home and I'm like just having on a training trip for 6 days, and you're like, oh, I don't really want to see motorbikes for a day now. And I'm like, oh, can you do it? And I don't even have to ask you, because I'm coming into your carriage and everything is washed and nice and clean. So it's a good mix. But I'm not lazy.
I like every product, but the Moto Protect is my favorite. You know, it's like then I know the bike is clean
and shiny.
It's ready, shiny, you know, and it smells really good.
It's all about the style.
Bling bling is very important.
Yeah, last year I was actually 2 more months pretty busy with testing and riding. I went to South Africa for Roof of Africa, which is in this year's calendar. So I was actually pretty busy and I didn't really have this break. But I finally could go out of Super Enduro, which was for me pretty nice, because last year was just such a crazy busy year with like coming back with the injury straight into racing, no break at all until I would say end of November, and then I was really like, okay, now I need a break, and I had a really good break over Christmas and I really enjoyed it. Went on a mountain bike trip, so did something else, just enjoyed the time with my friends, with my family, had a lot of fun. I wanted to go skiing, but we don't have snow out there yet, so that was pretty cool. But now I'm also already excited again, starting training now with the motor again next week and trying to get out there and prep me already for the first pre-races. Retirement.
Do it again, do it again.
Look at him, do it again. Nah, for sure. We're gonna try the best and have another sick year. Like literally that's the plan. Enjoy every single moment, enjoy new races maybe, or like actually new races which we had in last year to go there again. I'm excited that Serbia is the opener. It was such a good race last year, so I think trying my best again and don't take it too serious. Just enjoy the racing and for sure I want to do
fun.
good.
It's very important to have fun, you know.
For me, I think that's my motivation to go out there and give my best at the races, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing and I love to ride my dirt bike in every kind of country, everywhere, and I think that's why this kind of having fun gives me the motivation to go out there and show the world that we can be also there. Yeah. Keep it loose. Keep it loose. Stay loose, stay safe.